Welcome to Evilive, live media commentary show that answers the question, how many Barrow Downs are there? Subscribe if you're new to the channel, because today we are reviewing The Lord of the Rings, The Rings of Power, Season 2, Episode 4, Eldest. All right, so my initial thoughts are, this is the first episode, there's actually imagery that really resonated with me. Like, really. And then I immediately texted my buddy, and I was just like, holy fuck, I can't believe they put this in there. This is so great, this scene. And he hasn't caught up yet. So I guess I'm the only one that's watching this show. The only one. All right, so it was directed by Louise Hooper and Sana Hamri, written by Glenise Mullins. It premiered September 5th, this last week, 2024. And let's just get into it. Let's start here. So Elrond and Galadriel set out for Eregion, and they get to a bridge that's been destroyed. And it seems like it's just one of those things where, you know, the forces that be, whether it's Sauron or Adar, are trying to force this elven group to go through Barrow Downs. But, and it's basically like a gravesite, like an old ancient gravesite where you got like these sort of burial hills or mounds, and then the dead. I mean, it's like spirit zombie things, like specters or something. Super cool looking on camera. I mean, I really, really dug this scene. But the whole time, Elrond is like, no, we're not going to go that way. And Galadriel's like, but the ring is telling me that there's danger if we go that way. So let's go this other way. And he's like, we will not be taking directions from that shitty ring on your shitty finger, you shithead. And he's like, I'm the commander. You're the lieutenant. He says lieutenant really strangely. Lieutenant. And you will do what I say, or you will get your ass back home. And she's like, I would totally leave, but if I did, you're going to die. And I don't want you to die. So I'm going to just follow you wherever you want to go, even if it's the path that I'm telling you not to go down. And so they go down the path that she told them not to go down, and it leads to the Barrow Downs. And it's a bunch of Barrow Wights. And they, again, look great. Genuine threat. Scary as hell. I played the Lord of the Ring online multiplayer game, and it's really cool. At least it was like years and years and years ago when I was playing it. And in any case, they have these like little Barrow Downs areas all over, and it's just one of those places you go and it feels sort of like scary and Halloween-y, and you know, you get to kill a bunch of dead things, Mikey, dead things, and I dig it. So it was the probably only scene that really resonated with me out of this whole series thus far, and we're 4 episodes in. So that's not a good sign. In any case, ultimately they take this really scary path. The stranger, who is definitely Gandalf, but there is some reason they're refusing to admit that it's Gandalf. He's referenced as Istar, which I have no idea what that means. But apparently it must be, and I'm just contextually guessing here because of the way that it's presented. It must be like fallen angels or like celestial entities are called Istar. And once they come to Middle-earth, I'm totally guessing, so please correct me if I'm wrong. Once they come to Middle-earth, they take a identity, like a form. And in the stranger, or Gandalf's case, he needs to learn from Tom Bombadil how to control his powers. And that's why they were following these star maps, because the star map leads him to this sort of, you know, it's like a Greek or like a Middle East looking island or location. I guess it's actually filmed in Spain, like near the coast of Spain or something like that, which is why it looks like that. Beautiful area, but I wouldn't want to be there. Anyway, this is sort of the thought. He's looking for the 2 not hobbits, Harfoots, and he runs across Tom Bombadil, who is like some major character from the books that I literally know nothing about. From the game, he was just lived in like a swamp area that everyone passes by. So I just assumed that's where he always lived. Apparently, he is like the oldest entity to ever walk Middle-earth, according to this show anyway. And he can teach Istars how to use power and magic. And the last person he taught was the Dark Wizard, who is not Saruman, but definitely looks like there's trying to be Saruman. And he turned evil. And so he's sort of reticent about who he teaches how to use magic and why. So Gandalf, not Gandalf, is trying to convince him to teach him how to use magic, which is weird because he's already been using magic the entire show. First season too. So I don't understand that at all, but whatever. Maybe it'll make sense someday. And Nori and Poppy got caught in that whirlwind and thrown somewhere, and they end up finding this really shitty looking Hobbit knockoff guy who just looks like he was in a cartoon with the Roadrunner and the Wile E. Coyote, and he just opened up this Acme bomb and it exploded in his face, and that's what he looks like. His hair is like pushed back as if he was exploded. Everyone sees him like shit. And so he leads them to the rest of the Harfoots, which are actually, the Harfoots are an offshoot of this not Hobbit group called the Stoors. And the Stoors, the people that are the Harfoots that Nori and Poppy come from, actually like had a mass exodus away from the Stoors to create the Harfoots, because he had a vision that he would find this place called the Suzat, which must ultimately become Hobbiton. And so he's going to look for Hobbiton, Suzat, and the Stoors became the Harfoots, which will become the Hobbits. None of them are halflings, but this show doesn't care about that. Okay, so then we have Arondir and who figures out that Estrid is one of the wild men. She earns back Isildur's trust when he and Arondir are sucked into this mud pit thing. I thought it was just like quicksand or something, but it's not just quicksand or something. It was like this snake creature sucking them down, but didn't want to eat them or take a bite out of them or something. And so when she came and saved them, it like came off, and I think she like smacked it on the head or something, and it went away. I don't know. I was still thinking about the Barrow Wights and loving that aspect of it, and not so much this scene. So she helps him get free. So now they're like, oh, we can trust you because you helped us get free. At no point do they seem to be asking the question that I would be asking is, why did you help us get free? Because you're clearly working for Adar. He's branded on your neck, and your people are with Adar. Your betrothed or your boyfriend or your husband or toy boy is clearly working with Adar. So you're not going to change your tune just like that. So what's the real reason? That's what they should be asking. That's not what they're asking. They're just stoked to be alive, which, hey, I get it, at least for a little while. And then they're confronted by two Ents. And this is another scene where I was just like, why did they skimp on the Ents? What a weird place to skimp on their 3D design. Because these Ents look like nightmare Ents. Like they look like they came out of like some old Disney Halloween black and white show, and they just like reanimated them. They don't look anything like the Ents from the movies. Their faces are all like flat and like twisted and a little bit special looking. You know, like the trees have an extra chromosome is what I'm saying. They look a little strange. And it doesn't make any sense because we've seen Ents before. And they don't all have to look exactly alike. I don't care. It's just, I don't know. They looked weird to me. These Ents are the things that were picking up all of those Adar men, wild men, as they're called. And so they run across them and they're like, hey, how about you let these people go because they're nice. And we promise we won't cut down any more trees and we won't harm any more trees. Which is like the biggest, boldest lie you could ever say because you need warmth. Like they're in an era in Middle Earth where there's three ways to get warm. The sun, burning fossil fuels in the form of trees, or coal. That's it. Those are your three ways. Or just go live next to Mount Doom and then you probably don't have to worry about it, but the sulfur will kill you. So let's not go there. Like, why are you making a promise you can't keep and you clearly are not going to hold up to? And more importantly, why are these dumbass Ents believing it? Like, oh yeah, he said he wouldn't cut down any more trees, so he looks like an honest fellow. Here, have all of these people. And that's where we see that Estrid, like her boyfriend was with the wild men, and there's this really weird moment because Isildur, he's like crushing on her for some reason. And I get it. If someone saves your life, you're going to crush on them for a little bit. But then as soon as she saw her man and they like did this whole love story embrace, Isildur was just like, no, I'm never going to be loved. And he just turns away. He's like, what are you doing? Like, if you liked her, first of all, fight for her. If you don't like her, Why were you pining for her before? Like, this whole on and off bullshit, I've never understood it. All right. It's not like they're married, you know? It's just, I don't know. Okay. So, what else? Arendir promises to protect the forest and the Ents free the prisoners. One of the wild men is Hagen, Estrid's betrothed. After fighting off the Barrow-wights, which was super fun and the best part of this entire episode and series thus far, Galadriel and Elrond find Adar's army, and apparently Galadriel gives her ring to Elrond and tells him to return to Lindon, as they pronounce it, which is weird, to warn Gil-galad, and she stays and is now, a part of Adar's force. Like, she just becomes a captive, which, all right, I guess you're that badass. You could just hold off a whole entire army that's hunting a demigod. But you're Galadriel, so you'll win. We just accept it. All right. Again, after having seen Saint Maud, I don't like the actress playing Galadriel anymore. I don't know why. I don't know why that movie turned me off so much, because I enjoyed the film. I thought it was weird and out there, but the actress has really gotten under my skin this season specifically, because I didn't mind her last season. So it's weird how other media will influence you in your experience with this, a specific actress or something like that. But it really did. And it's not because of what anyone else said or did. It's because of her, like the actress herself. So my least favorite moment of this entire weird episode is that, what is my least favorite? It's got to be the Stewards. I thought they were so weird, and the leader of the Stewards was so rude for no reason. They're clearly like hobbitses. Like, you're all the same. Like, why are you acting all shitty to them for no reason? And I've never liked the idea of a leader bullying one of their flock, as it were, one of the members of their community. And the leader in this black woman, Stewart, was clearly berating and treating this boy like he was a piece of shit for no reason. And I hate that activity. There's no reason to have it in there. It just makes her look like a piece of shit, and it makes him look like a victim, and it makes you not like the Stewards. What is it, Stewards? I feel like I'm saying it wrong. Yeah, it's the Stewards. So in any case, that was my least favorite. Bullying for no reason. Give me a break. My most favorite was obviously the Barrow-wights, because they were super cool looking, and I don't care that Galadriel's a badass whipping all their asses, because they were scary, and I dig horror, and I really liked seeing, Lord of the Rings is filled with horrific scenes and experiences and tales and history, and this is just one to add on to that existing pile of awesome that makes people love Lord of the Rings. Not this show specifically, but the branded IP. And I appreciated seeing it. It was the best aspect of everything thus far. And I hope that we get to see a little bit more of them, because I really appreciate them. Hey, Chris, how you doing, man? Yeah, I'm struggling, but I'm fighting my way through it. All right, well, that is actually it for my review of episode 4. I don't know. There's no reason for bullying in a community where your sole act is survival, and there's all the reason to have every ounce of dead things in your face. So let's keep that up. All right. Hopefully the next episode will be a lot better. What I'm hoping is going to happen is we see more Barrow-wights, because I don't really care about anything else. I would like to know what's up with Tom Bombadil, like who and what he is, because he's like both feminine and masculine. He's like eternal and all-knowing, but cryptic and annoying. I want more information about him as a character. And I want them to finally just say, okay, the Stores and the Harfoots are actually hobbits. Surprise! And the stranger is actually Gandalf. Surprise! Like, just do it already, because we already know. I don't know why you're pretending like it's some ancient mystery that will be unveiled at some future date. Just tell us, because there's no reason not to. You just look like assholes. All right. That's it. Thank you guys so much for tuning into this review of episode 4, Eldest of the Rings of Power. Let me know what you think in the comments below. As always, remember, The evil spelled backwards is live. So get out there and be the evilest of all of the hobbitses.